Formats today are not fixed. They're fluid, from experiential hubs to drive-through concepts. Retail formats are flexing with consumer moods. Now, this very next session will bring together retail leaders to unpack how formats are being redesigned, not just for efficiency, but for relevance and renaissance, as shoppers navigate between physical, digital, and hybrid spaces. The question is no longer which format works, but how formats can stretch to meet customers where they are. To talk more on this, please welcome onto the stage Ismail Hafiz, the co-founder and chief operating officer of Rabbit, Raouf Al-Darini, the director of operations at Musa and Palm, Zakwan Al-Mublisi, the director of operations at 1886 Fashion, Arun Subramanian, the vice president and head of retail at Home Centre KSA, and our moderator, and your moderator, is Rashid Labrik, the chief executive officer of Slimstock MEA. Ladies and gentlemen, your panel and moderator.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the format wave beyond the storefront. Retail formats today are no longer static boxes. They are alive, they are flexible, they are evolving. And they depend on how the customers are living, shopping, experiencing, moving around. In today's panel, we're going to discuss and we're going to explore how retail leaders are reimagining the retail formats, from quick commerce to luxury stores, from drive-thrus to dark stores. We have the whole retail spectrum in this panel. And with me, I have a couple of leaders who are shaping the retail formats in the kingdom. So I will introduce every single one of them, and then we're going to deep dive into the topic. Actually, I didn't take up my notes. So with me, first of all, Ismail Hafiz, co-founder and CEO of Rabbit. With me as well, Zakwan Al-Nabulsi, director of operation, 1886 Fashion. Raouf Al-Darini, director of operations, Musa and Palm. And last but not least, Arun Subramanian, national business head, Home Centre Landmark Group. Please join me in welcoming our dear panelists. And I will start with Raouf. So, Raouf, Musa and Palm reimagines dates as luxury art pieces around the kingdom. Yeah. So you told me last week that you are really focusing on the experience, on the scarcity, on the exclusivity. Can you tell us more about the retail formats that you are focusing on and why it is important for your business?
Yeah, definitely. Hello, everyone. So in Musa and Palm, we are focusing on heritage as our core. So based on that, dates is one of the core things in Saudi and Arab heritage, and we use it and we utilize it as a luxury gifting and storytelling way. So every touch point that we have, from packaging to stores to even our e-commerce platform, we use it to communicate that story of each packaging, each design, and each packaging that we have, it's an art piece. So we try to be available for our customers through different platforms, but at the same time, we keep our luxury experience there.
So you told me as well last week that you are not that much present in marketplaces. I know we're going to come to Ismail, we're going to talk about marketplaces. Can you explain why the choice not to be present that much in the marketplaces? And then another question is, how do you see this happening in the next coming 5-10 years? Would you actually change the strategy and the business model?
So in a business world, you have to be always dynamic and flexible. But as of now, as a luxury brand, we don't see ourselves in the mass places, as we said, exclusivity and added value for our customers. So in the end, we would love to have our customers to have our grounded experience first, but it's not available everywhere. So we try to complement that with our online presence. In the future, maybe things will be changing, maybe with the new technologies emerging and new tools coming, that will complement the experience in a better way. But at this time, we see ourselves as this exclusivity to be with us, so we can control how we tell our experience and story.
Okay, so talking about the marketplace, I'm gonna ask Ismail a question. So Ismail, you are at the end of the spectrum when it comes to the retail format, right? So your model is 20-minute delivery, fast, local presence, multiple dark stores. I know that you have evolved quite massively in the past months, and from Egypt to KSA. What's driving this quick commerce wave, and how do you see formats evolving when there is no storefront at all?
Okay, thank you for this question. Hello? Thank you for this question. So just to highlight, we're operating now in Riyadh. We've been operating in Egypt for the past 4 years. How we see this evolving is actually, it's more of an acquired taste. Think about it as like sushi, for example. When you eat sushi, first of all, you think about it, I don't think I'm gonna like it, I'm not gonna like it, and then you try it, probably a lot of people try it and like it. So what happens is, you start consuming things and ordering things, and you get it in 20 minutes. You never think that you would ever want something in 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden, you start using it, you experience it, and it becomes a little bit addictive. You don't have to plan at all. Whatever you want something, you can order it. And then it actually takes you from a journey of, you would order something because it's missing, and then it becomes a habit, and then you got used to it, and then you stop planning, and then you end up, it's like a customer journey where it takes you from first trial until the end. We have the end of the extreme of the other spectrum, where you have very reliable customers that depend on you, because they know if you want something, they would find it without replacements. They would find it delivered in good quality. They find it and have it actually delivered to your home, so you don't need, for example, to plan. You don't need to fill your fridge, fill your home, fill your cupboards, having products expiring, especially when it comes to fresh produce and all of that sort. So it's quite interesting.
So Raouf talked about experience. He talks about scarcity. So from your perspective, Ismail, would you be able to offer this feeling to customers in a marketplace?
Hopefully by end of today we'll change Raouf's mind about that. I told my team we have to figure this out. But let me tell you something. Definitely experience and brick and mortar has its own touch and feel, and it's very hard to switch and not very easy. But eventually it's happening. I mean, it's happening because, for example, the way we consume things are changing. I'm not talking about consuming products, but consuming experience is different. Mm-hmm. At the beginning, all days, having a phone call, now we can have FaceTime, seeing people live. It's experiential. I mean, would you ever think of having, for example, a birthday where you have a relative attending an event or a birthday or whatever over a Zoom call, attending from different countries? It's still not 100% there, but at least you're getting something. So what I'm talking about is, still you can experience things through online, whether through video content, influencers. Nowadays, 80 to 90% would open their social media networks at least once a day. You will never experience that kind of thing. You will never go to a store every single day, but you would go to a social media network at least 80 to 90% once a day. Okay. So experiential will change. It will take time. The best combo is having offline to online and online to offline. But eventually, as things change and AI change and artificial intelligence and virtual things would change, of how you can experience, and eventually this will help a lot to expedite this whole thing.
Okay. So artificial intelligence, you mentioned social media. Something that is quite important for you, I guess, at Rabbit is the customer data. So I suppose that you are analyzing the data, you are making decisions based on the data. Can you share with the audience what surprised you most based on the customer data on how customers shop every single day? Is there some insight from the data you can share with us?
Actually, there's quite an interesting insight that I figured, fetched the past 3 days when I was checking what will it be. It's quite interesting. For example, we found out that customers that add ice cream to their carts, they tend to add 50% more items in that cart compared to any other purchases. That is a hard data to find out easily, but because we have AI integrated into our systems, I just asked it, fetch me 2 or 3 interesting insights that I can share with you in this panel, and just happened in a few minutes. Other things that are normal, I could share that doesn't need a lot of comprehending a lot of data to be able to share such insight, would be, for example, people that shop in the afternoon, they tend to add more to their basket size is much bigger than we call them the night owls that actually shop later at night. Their basket size in the afternoon is much higher in terms of, I'm not talking basket value, I'm talking number of items inside the cart, and that would be another insight. Another interesting insight as well, when we tried 2 months ago to try offering cashback promo codes, we figured out that 30% of the users actually consume their cashback on the same day they took the cashback. So they're excited about it, they want to use it again. They think, okay, I can buy that and that and that, because now basically it's like you're having a cashback that you can use. Even though that we give them more time to use, but they tend to use it, 30% tend to use it on the same day.
Those quotes are nice, actually, and I think when you have access to the data and you can analyze it, you can see what are the trends, what are the buying behaviors of the customers, then you can actually tailor your business accordingly to the customer needs. So thank you for sharing that. So now I'm going to move to the fashion. So Zagwan, you have been in fashion for more than 30 years.
That's right.
From luxury boutiques to online marketplaces. You shared with me before that pre-COVID, after COVID, there was a change in the whole, the way the customers are consuming the product in fashion. What changed the game in Saudi, and how 1886 fashion adapt to it? You can share that with us.
Well, to be honest, before COVID, it was quite challenging to convince the end consumer to trust in shopping fashion online. They still needed the touch and feel of the fashion, the physical part, let alone to shop luxury fashion. That was even a bigger challenge. During COVID, I think what drove the change the most is the Gen Z, the Generation Z. I think they were much more tech savvy, and when the epidemic hit, they became more reliant on the technology and online shopping. I think that, aside from also the enforcement of legislation from the government of Saudi here on regulating the e-marketplace and protecting the brands online, that contributed also a lot. But mainly the Gen Z. I mean, if you look at the percentage of generations in Saudi today, over 70% of the Saudi population is Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So it's quite a young population. As in 1886, actually we started at that. We leaned from there. We started from the online, opposite to any other brand, where we were able to build ourselves as a local fashion house brand for streetwear, luxury fashion. And based on the information, on the experience, and on the data we collected, we were able to take it to the next phase, where we started experimenting and understanding our customer segments by doing multiple pop-ups across Saudi for brick and mortar. And from there on, we were able to identify where we should be, how we should be launching, and that's how we built 1886 at the moment.
Nice. And so you talked about Gen Z, and you also talked about Gen Alpha, and many of the Gen Alpha are actually coming to the workplace now. They are actually the new consumers, right? Because they have the manpower, they can actually go buy. So how do you see the brand shifting to address more this new generation?
I mean, for the Saudi market, I mean, it's obvious. In my opinion, it's going to be, it's adapt or die. For fashion, they have to start moving towards a more different approach to shopping experience. So the shops cannot be just stores anymore. They have to be more of a connection. The generations, Gen Alpha and Gen Z at the moment, they love the conveniency of shopping online, but they still do want to have the feel and the connection of the offline stores, especially when you're talking luxury fashion. They need, I believe stores now and brands in general, they need to start becoming more as a stores of a social hub, a connection, an enjoyment, entertainment shopping journey rather than just being a shop as before. In other words, it has to become a seamless, omni-channel, hybrid shopping experience.
An omni-channel experience across all the formats,
Absolutely.
basically. And
Absolutely.
That's how you see it evolving in the future.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Talking about the data itself. So when you do omni-channel experience and I suppose you look at the data, especially online. So how do you deal with the data today, currently in your business?
I'm sorry?
The data.
Yeah.
So when you look at the data, the buying behaviors of your customers online,
Yeah.
how do you analyze it and how you shape your decisions in the future based on this data?
Well, we look at several aspects of the data that we gather. So we look at our customer reach, our online shopping experience, how smooth it is. We look at the customer segments that we are able to reach, the kind of shopping habits the customers are doing, like as mentioned, for example, in what times they do the shopping, what times our baskets are bigger. So, and we try to adjust our business and take decisions on operation accordingly.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm gonna move to Arun. So Arun, Home Center is one of the region's biggest home retailers. Many stores in Saudi alone. You have seen online grow from multiple percentages after COVID, right? How are you redesigning stores to stay relevant when customers mix browsing offline and buying online, just like as Agwan mentioned?
Thanks for the question. The Home Center has been a predominantly a strong regional brand for the last 30 years. We started our journey pretty much in the kingdom, purely on brick and mortar. We were standalone stores. They're not much of a mall stores on those days. And when the online platform picked up, especially in Middle East, pre-COVID, post-COVID, we have seen a different surge. It was quite surprising for us itself, how customers have evolved shopping furniture online. And large portion of our business online comes from furniture. In fact, it overtakes our home accessories business. Generally, customer would like to feel the product, touch, and it's very important for somebody to see, feel it, sit on it, and then shop. When it comes to post-COVID scenario, the customers have actually evolved, even moving towards shopping between both channels. Whether it is brick and mortar or online platform, the customers are quite comfortable shopping from both platform. So this puts us in a scenario saying that, how do you move forward with your formats? So you definitely have to give experience stores. So we have been in the kingdom for quite some time, 3 decades. So we are pretty much available even in outer locations like Hail, Jizan, and places where we have our own, one store for one city format. Customers can still go experience the furniture, and then still shop at their convenience. And we do see customers shopping at convenience. And post-COVID, we've also seen them shopping from both channels, because what happens is it gives them the comfort and also trust with the brand, saying that what they see is what they're going to shop online. So they're a lot more convenient, and they shop when they would like to shop. We've also seen that with the kind of expansion the country has gone through and what we see, the number of malls have increased. We can't have such huge furniture format stores in every mall. And we have come up with a new format, which is home accessories format. So we predominantly sell home accessories, but it is also an experience store for furniture. So you do get assisted selling, and you can shop your online shopping when you visit these household format store, homeware format store. It helps you even buy furniture from these smaller format stores. I think as we evolve, being available, being reachable, and even if you shop online, click and collect, today you can collect the same day from your Jizan store, so you don't have to wait for a delivery to be delivered from Riyadh. So these are some learnings which obviously we have started incorporating in our store formats as we evolve.
It's nice to see that all the formats are mixed in order to satisfy the customers. So customers can come over to the stores, they can test the products, go order online, they can order online, pick up in the stores, it can be delivered. So everything is mixed in order to make sure that the customers are happy, and whatever way they want to shop is there for them. With the Vision 2030, with big plans in Saudi, so what's next for Home Center? Smaller experiential hubs, store within store models, or something entirely new?
I think so we are pretty clear in terms of 2 to 3 formats. So we will definitely focus on flagship formats where the entire experience for a furniture store customer prefers still brick and mortar as one of their main place to go to shop furniture. So main cities, we will definitely have flagship stores. The tier 2 cities, we'll definitely look at an experience stores, which will still give you to go and feel the products. And with the kind of number of malls, the quality of malls which we are getting and which is also coming up, so we will be available for the customers to reach. So pretty much available in from a different formats. At the same time, we will definitely focus on how our omni-channel customer focus. So how do we get customers to shop from both platforms? How seamlessly customers can shop between, and some of the other panel members earlier were mentioning, even your return process, how do you accept, how do you manage your post-sale service for both channels are very important. And I think we are quite clear in terms of, I think omni-channel is the way forward. Both brick and mortar and online will live together. So we are pretty much 40-60, 50-50 in terms of how we want to approach from home center point of view.
Thank you for sharing that, Arun. Now I'll go back to Raouf. Raouf, you have heard a couple of panelists talk about, like Arun said, 50-50, so online 50%, offline 50%. I know you are more focusing on the storefront itself.
Yeah.
So would you ever consider, let's say, a digital-only luxury experience?
Definitely, but it needs a lot of work and a lot of effort to make it to make our core experience there. So definitely, it's not an option maybe in the future.
Okay, so it could be an option, but it will require a lot of change in your model.
Yeah, definitely. It requires a big change in the core business.
Okay, great. So now I'm gonna ask every single one of you one question, and I ask you to imagine, to be bold, to look at all the possibilities. The question is, if I give you a blank check and a city block in Riyadh, what format would you build and why? So I'll start from you, Ismail.
That's a tough one. Um,
It can be a dark store, huh?
yeah, probably. Yeah, but building on what I just mentioned, I think a mix between experiential again and a dark store would make sense. So, for example, think about it as a dark store, and above it would be, for example, a social hub. So to get people to engage more with the products and the offerings, the brand. So for example, we can have a co-working space, coffee space, gaming space. So people can engage with the brand, engage with the products and the offerings that we have in a nice way to build the relationship between the customer and the brand. And then building on that would be definitely a dark store at the bottom, delivering products in 15 to 20 minutes, for sure.
So it's more for people to experience, and then they are still ordering in the marketplace with a dark store behind to ship to them.
Yeah, I thought once before about an idea كده, but didn't go through, of having several it's like a cloud kitchen, and you actually go to a social dining experience, but you order from an app, and you have multiple brands delivering to you at the same time, because basically it would be a dark kitchen that has like 20, 30 brands, so everyone would order what he likes. So you can find someone ordering pizza, other person would order a burger, or sushi, or whatever. So that would be a nice gathering, but this would fit more the Gen Zs and the millennials and all of that sort, that because it's more of an experiential, as you mentioned, with the fashion thing. So this might work as well.
So Ismail, last week we discussed a little bit about how expensive actually the land is, right, to open stores, and so the retailers still need to balance between the cost of the experience and also whether they push more towards the online. Can you shed some light on that vision that you have shared with me about more the cost side of it?
Yeah, the thing is, like for example, like what Tesla did is just they didn't have they had a strategy of not having a lot of showrooms. Like typically cars are sold in showrooms, you see them, you experience them, you take a test drive, and then you buy them. What Tesla actually tried to do is reduce the number of showrooms, make the experience the car over the internet, videos, events that you virtual events. You are in command of this space and navigating the car, trying to feel and touch the whole thing, but from an experiential, and giving the cost back of running these showrooms as discount on the level of the car. And they tried to push that. They spend a lot of money instead of real estate and rent and utilities. They spend it on marketing to make it as live as possible. So I think this is happening a lot. You've seen a lot of fashion brands and other stores in Europe shutting down their stores because it's not profitable enough. The cost of utilities, rent on a main street, on a high street, becomes very expensive. So it's a hybrid between both of them. So for example, you'd find acquiring customers or engaging with the customers to try the brand and see the new lines, but again, connect with them and have them following up on newsletters, some kind of discounts, for example, new arrivals, where the customer can actually see, because they engage at the beginning with a physical store, but they continued their life journey online. And now the online is helping a lot where you can have credibility, reliability, because for example, if you don't like something, you can return it back, change the size, all of that sort, and that reduces the costs significantly, but you'd invest a little bit more into the marketing bit of it.
Thank you for sharing that, Ismail. So I'm gonna ask you the same question, Raouf. You have a city block in Dubai, as big as you want, no constraint, and I will hand over to you a blank check. What would you open as a format?
Yeah, so I agree with Ismail on that. It should be a hybrid experience to accommodate multiple segments. So the hybrid experience should have it's like a hub for entertainment and hospitality and retail at the same time. It should accommodate all the needs of different generations in different ways. Always the tangible human experience is the best experience because people can feel the product, but at the same time you have to use and utilize new technologies in order to fulfill the needs of new generations. So that's it. I agree with Ismail on that point.
Great. Thanks for sharing that, Raouf. So,
Thank
Dagwan,
Yes, so I think if we want to talk about well, fashion in general and art and design, I'd be inspired by the, let's say, Al-Murabba project, where we create an entire ecosystem, not just a shopping destination, but a full ecosystem where, if you want to say, designer flagships meets designer studios, NFT galleries, and e-com destinations, where all of these come to complement each other as a destination of an ecosystem for art and fashion, and that will support the Vision 2030, which was driving and pushing the designers and the developers of Saudi to the next vision. I think that's the way it should be. That's the way I would see it.
so basically, if you have a block in Riyadh, you will mix fashion with art, you'll bring in designers together,
Yes.
and you will try to have it as an experience for customers.
Absolutely.
to
Not
see
only
the
for
art
customers, but
plus
for everybody.
everyone.
For everybody. It becomes an ecosystem. It becomes a destination for all, for creativity, for social influencers, for studios, for everyone.
Oh, impressive. We should probably design that in the line or Ritzy.
I hope so. Hope so.
Great. Thanks,
Thank you.
Zakwan. Arun, there's no limit in the space, huh?
Yeah,
we can build the biggest home
No,
center in
like
in
I
the
said,
world.
one of our main format is our flagship stores. Today, I would say our flagship stores are average 75,000 square feet, so pretty big. So given an opportunity with the blank check, what you mentioned, so we would prefer to double this, take it forward at a level where in cities like Riyadh, you have huge opportunities. You know, very soon we'll be seeing the biggest mall opening soon in Riyadh. So there's a lot of ambitions which can be built with the city. Keeping that in scope, how can you personalize? How can you provide customization, what customer looks for, differential in experience. And we have more than 12,000 SKUs available. Like I said, we are also become a very strong omni player. So we have a lot of our SKUs we don't buy only for stores, it's bought for online as well. So now the opportunity comes with such a big store, a flagship store, let's say at 150,000. So we would be able to show every single product. Customers can actually have a good touch and feel of the product. And adding up to some of our panelists, what they mentioned, you can create experience zone, you can create some live demos, probably, a celebrity chef coming and doing your kitchen sessions. You can do design tips, you can do design solutions. Your interior designs can work together as a corner. And a lot of real estate and people who are moving into kind of projects can also have different B2B corner within the stores. So this could be one-stop solution for any home need. So this could be achieved with kind of, if possible, we can do that.
So you kind of join the others in the experiential hub itself, combining everything together for everyone.
Yeah, so we will still, even though the size of the stores can be big, we will still focus on omni-channel experience because, but this could become the one-stop when the customer wants to come, touch and feel, because furniture is as such shopped in that manner, and this could become a lot more convenient for people to come.
Brilliant, thanks Arun. So we still have 1 minute and a half. Now I'm gonna address this to the audience. Does any one of you wanna ask a question to our dear panelists or comment on what we just talked about? Anyone? Apparently no questions, everything was clear.
You were too good, that was the problem. They're too shy as well.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
What a
Richard.
ride across formats, philosophies, futures. So the formats today, they don't just sell. They are here for experience. They are here for feelings. They are here for emotional connection. So thank you for being here and sharing with you all your insights with the audience. And see you in the market.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, everyone.